Yeah.
By asking you about Jonah.
Yeah, tragedy, really, isn't it? It's incredibly sad. So, obviously, the country's in mourning at home, and thoughts and prayers go out to his family. So, yeah, it's a sad day.
Did you ever play against him, Chris?
I played with him in 1994, actually. He's in our New Zealand Colts team. So, yeah, pretty sad day.
So what kind of a player was he, which we all know? What kind of man was he?
Well, I think all the tributes that are coming out at the moment talking about the person are really accurate. I think a really caring, generous man, and he thought of others before himself. And again, I think it's just a testament to him and his family that so many tributes are going out.
And even in the list of All Blacks greats, he would be up there.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. And I think that's been recognised worldwide. It's just a really sad day.
In that Colts team, Chris, I mean, you probably marked about as if you just started in, you have all the actors?
Yeah, it was interesting. He and again, the memories that you have is that he'd come back off a pretty unsuccessful campaign with the All Blacks had against France in '94, where we got beaten, and that was his sort of first test arena, and he came back to the Colts and to get some more game time, and just took it in his stride. Came in and was basically led the team around, and just cracked on really, and he didn't really drop a beat. It was I guess that sort of shows the mark of the man really.
This week, obviously, is an exceptional week, really, given the events in France last week.
Yeah.
How do you think that will affect the sort of mindset of the players, your players, their players, the crowd?
Yeah, I mean, it's again tragedy out there too, isn't it? And you just like to, I guess, pray and hope that nothing happens to us and everyone's safe out there. But again, it's just you just never know. But again, from a mindset perspective, it's out of our control, isn't it? And again, the only thing we can control is to make sure that we prepare like any other game, and hopefully the security people out there do their job.
And looking at the game generally, how challenging is this fixture?
Yeah, I think the statistics are that show that Clermont don't lose often at home, do they? And so again, we're under no illusions. We're going to have to be on our game, and that's what we're preparing for. We're really excited by the challenge of going out there, and again, it's just going to be an awesome experience. It's a great venue to be in and to play rugby in, and boys are excited by that. And round 2 of the European Cup, so it's cool.
I think the Ospreys record in France is a great place. I think it's something like 1 win in 14.
Okay.
What's key if you're going to get a result on the weekend? Where does it start?
Oh, look, in these big games, it's all about getting parity up front, making sure again you like set piece stuff, but it's what you do next with that, and I think that's key. And the collision is the breakdown is a big area, and we've got to make sure that we win those collisions, both attack and defence. And if you can get that and hold the ball, then you're in with a shout. If you turn it over easily, again, particularly against a team like Clermont, you'll be under your sticks pretty quickly. So again, key thing is making sure we're accurate set piece wise, and we get and win collisions.
Are they a team, Chris? Eli was saying that you could go out there and perhaps try to express yourselves. Are they a team you can play rugby against?
Yeah, there's definitely opportunities. Like in every team, you see opportunities. It's how you plan and execute them. That's the key, isn't it? And but no, there's opportunities for us. But again, we've got to make sure that we look after the ball. And again, they'll show you they're a big side. They're a big collision defence side, and they'll turn you over if you're loose with the ball. So if we want to go and express ourselves and we want to talk about playing rugby, well then we've got to have the ball to do that. So there's a big onus on that.
Does the performance of the pack on the weekend give you quite a bit of confidence in that regard?
Oh, I think, yeah.
You put the pressure on externally.
Yeah, look, I think there's we're under no illusion as a pack. We're not quite where we want to be. And again, there was a couple of errors on the weekend that we, I guess, from a control perspective, we were in full control of that, and we let ourselves down a little bit. But we've been slowly building away, and again, we're not getting, like I say, too ahead of ourselves or too down ourselves. We know what our strengths and weaknesses are, and we've just got to keep working on performance, keep working on executing the little things, the 1 or 2% we keep talking about, and from that perspective, we'll be there thereabouts.
Kicking game important as
well. Oh,
well.
hugely.
Their back three is pretty frightening. If you kick loose to them, you'll be in trouble.
Absolutely, and again, if you give them easy options, they'll put you back down, won't they? So they can counter attack, but they can also kick you back into corners, and you again putting you under pressure. So we got to be accurate in those things. And I think again, what's going to be key for us is the kick's as good as the chase sometimes, isn't it? So again, if we can put pressure through our kick chase and make sure that we squeeze them in those areas, then hopefully we can get something out of that.
Chris, do you back your players to handle the atmosphere up there? 18,000, it's a renowned atmosphere.
Yeah, I am, and I think a key thing is that if you look through the spine of our team, we've got guys that have played in bigger venues than that, under more pressure, and I guess that's we're going to be relying on those guys, Alan Wins, Dan Lydiot's, Justin Tippericks, those types of players to lead the rest of the boys through, really. But it's something that we're not fearing. We are excited, and I think again these are the games that you want to be playing in and being involved in. So I think the boys will be really excited, and they'll use that to live off that energy, really.
How did you assess James King's effort at number 8 last weekend?
Yeah, I thought he did well. There was a couple of times there our scrum was under a bit of pressure, and he controlled the base well. And I thought it was a good sign for us. He'd done a bit of work with the nines during the week around that, so to see that transferring from the training field into the game was quite pleasing. And again, I think his work rate's always high, isn't it? King, he always gets big numbers, and he gets himself around, and that's one of his strengths. So I think it is really good, and I think he's growing into that position. And what it's creating now is we've got really good competition. So, in the 8 slot.
Might he sort of be considered as a number 8, or are you still looking at him as Mr. Versatility?
No. I think again, I feel when I first came to the club, he was in the second row. He didn't really want to be there, but he was doing a job for the thing. We still tease him a wee bit about that, chuck him in the second row every now and again, keep his feet on the ground. But look, I think he's proven to be, he's very versatile, like you say. But I think he can really challenge for both 6 and 8 spots. I think outright, and I think he, if he really put his mind to it, he could do either one of those jobs really well. And good thing about where we're at in the moment as a club is that we've got some very, very good players in both of those positions.
Mm-hmm. How do you assess Clermont's pack?
Yeah, they're big, and they are quite dynamic as well. If you even look at even their front row guys, they can get round and they can catch pass, they can carry, they can tackle. They're a big team that like to play, and so again, we know that they've got experience in playing in the big games and playing in finals and quarterfinals, semi-finals in this tournament. So they know how to win these types of games. And again, I think that they'll be relying heavily on their forwards to get them the parity that they need, and then they'll get their backs across the game line and they'll try and pressure us a lot, put us into corners, and then basically hopefully live off our mistakes. So again, if we know that that's kind of, I think, how they're going to go, then we've just got to make sure we're accurate in the areas to not give them those opportunities.
And they got a bit of an angel in the second row in Jimmy Cutmore.
An angel?
Yeah. Well, I was being ironic.
Oh no. Yeah, it's going to be a big challenge, right? So, no, he's a good player, isn't he? And he's a big. Yeah. And but nicest guy off the field, isn't he? So they've got good players everywhere, and I think you just look at guys like Jamie, but you also look at their front row, and you look at you look at Fritz Lee and guys like that, Charlie, they're good players. So look, we're going to have to be good, but we look at our pack and we think we can match that.
Having your internationals back now and good win against Exeter last weekend.
Yeah.
Does it start a new turnaround for the Osprey season?
Again, it was pleasing, wasn't it? And I think the fact that we have often been out of the tournament in the early rounds is quite pleasing for us. Again, it's important what happens next for us as a group. We don't want to start living too many dreams, of one performance, but we do take some confidence out of that, but we know that there's a lot more in us that we've got to get right yet if we genuinely want to compete and genuinely get out of this pool. So from a pleasing perspective, everyone has written us off that we were going to lose that game, and for us to turn up and win, and I think a massive shout out to our crowd has got to be said. The support that was there was just incredible. The boys talk about it on the field, so for us to be able to win that game in that cauldron, it was pretty tight, is a big step forward for us, yes.